If any of you have ever worked in a garage, shop, or job site during the winter months, you know it can be super challenging to stay comfortable and productive in that cold environment. Now there are a ton of options to heat a space, but today in our video, we're gonna be going through the SF80 Radiant Heater from Sunfire. In our video, we wanna show you how to get this thing set up and running, get it started, some of the features and benefits that make this thing unique, and our overall thoughts. Now, before we jump into the specifics, let's go ahead and talk about how radiant heaters work. Unlike the forced air units that blow hot air around along with some of the fumes, radiant heaters heat objects directly, which can be a big advantage in those drafty spaces where that hot air tends to escape. Now, we want to get this thing fired up and show you how it works, so we're going to jump this thing outside and get into the meat and potatoes of this video. All right, so we just got back from the gas station. We filled this thing up with diesel. Kind of one of the highlights of these things is they are dual fuel. They take either kerosene or diesel. They need a little bit of power to run that motor, making sure that we're burning that fuel as efficiently as possible. Once you've got it hooked up to power, there will be a light indicator that shows you that it's ready to go. Once you're hooked up and ready to go, you do need to press the fuel primer button. You're gonna have to hold that down from 60 to 90 seconds to make sure that the fuel runs in and gets all ready to go. There will be an audible sound. Once that's ready to go, the motor will definitely go down a notch and you'll be able to hear that, making sure that you know that it's ready to be fired up. Once it's ready to be fired up, there's a button on the back that you're gonna press and get that thing rocking and rolling. So with that, let's jump into this and get it all primed up. It does take about 60 seconds for it to fully kick on, and we'll show you how that looks right now. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of let you guys know where we're feeling the heat. You can definitely feel the heat around this unit, but as soon as you get behind the heater, you're getting no fire. So you can actually touch this unit, not feeling any heat back here, which is nice. That means you got a safe space to be while you're out in front of this thing, where all of the heat is going to be above and out in front of where the blower is at. Definitely safe to put this thing near anything in the back where you're worried about it melting or getting hot. You don't have to worry about that. All the heat is being pushed out in front of this unit. What kind of space is this going to be able to heat up? Well, as the name suggests, the SF80 is an 80,000 BTU heater, which is ideal for about a 2,000 square foot enclosed space. Now, Sunfire makes two additional models, the SF120 and the SF150. But for this specific SF80, 2,000 square foot, great for a big garage, a shop, warehouse, that kind of thing. So I'm about 10 feet away from this thing, and I can certainly still feel the heat. It is not hot by any means, but I can feel that heater, that radiant heat hitting my body, and it's warming my skin still. You know, if you're 20 feet away from this thing, it's probably outside. It's probably not gonna heat you as intended. But again, in that enclosed space, you can definitely say this thing's gonna heat that space up really quickly. All right, so I wanna walk you through how to power this thing down. It's about as easy as it gets. All you gotta do is hit the off button, but you do not wanna unplug this thing from power until that blower stops. And so here we go. Bang. Turn the off button. The heater has stopped. You can hear that immediately cut off, but that blower is still going. It's been just about 5 minutes, and the top of this still warm, but it is no longer going to scorch me if I touch it. So we can go ahead, unplug this, move this back inside. All right, so we got it back here in our studio. First impression on this thing, the build quality is awesome. From the primer switch to the ease of turning it on, to the internal motor, the way that it cools down after the fact, everything seems to have that attention to detail that just says this is a premium product. Heats up really fast, puts out a lot of heat. It was a little bit louder than we initially anticipated, but definitely not a deal breaker. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about some of those key features that really make the Sunfire stand out. If these things ever tip over or aren't burning properly, like if a forklift backs into it when it's operating and this thing tips over, it's got an automatic shut off feature, which is really cool. having that safety feature built in is really important and something that makes this thing stand out. The next thing up that we want to talk about is the technology around them being odorless and fumeless. Sunfire calls this their Xtreme Clean burner technology. And what this does is this spins the fuel in a vortex, which allows this thing to burn 99.99% of the fuel, making this a truly odorless and fumeless heater. And that's what allows this to be used in that shop, in that enclosed area. You're not gonna have to deal with any of those headaches that some of those blowers do as those spit those fumes out. This is gonna eliminate that, and that is a really big deal, and we really think that is one of the really key features to these units. Last thing before we wrap this video up, it is worth mentioning that if you have this in your personal shop, you can hook them up to a thermostat, set that thermostat to a certain temperature, and this thing will automatically turn on when needed. Also, another really unique feature. So there you have it. That's our initial thoughts on the Sunfire SF80. We think this thing is awesome. If you've ever used one of these or have other heaters out there that do really great for you, let us know in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.